So this engine has already been removed because I thought I was going to put it on this one, but didn't have the proper shaft length. But that engine, that junky old Briggs, should work perfectly fine. So that'll be a separate video. This one, since I already removed the engine from the deck, we're just going to pull the engine off, bring it over to the workbench, and pull those jets out, clean out that carb, and kind of go from there, get it ready to put back on. Because I've already done all that work to get it off, it's actually really easy to, I don't even have to take the carburetor off the engine. Let's get started. Because we're doing this way, we don't really have to do a whole lot as far as preparation goes. I'm just going to take my 7mm here, pull off those two bolts, trusty flathead. Just like that. Well, I suppose that's a good sign. There really isn't much fuel in this machine to begin with, so that is one positive, believe it or not. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of pull off the jet assembly, just like so. Pull the bottom piece off. Got a little bit of congealing right there. Could see through those just fine, but not that one. That's a problem area. That's blocked off too. That's another problem area. And then just got some sediment down here. So I'm going to blow this stuff off with the air compressor. Alternatively, just use a rag to wipe that out, or use a small wire like from a steel bristle brush. Let's pull one of those strands out, or get some 20 thousandths safety wire. That's what I've used in the past. With the wire, you would just go in through each one of these holes, clean it out. Same with this up here, as well as down here. Honestly, compressed air is a lot easier. You can also use carburetor cleaner, the spray. That'll clean these out just as good. So all I'm gonna do here is just like this. You can now see through that bottom one, couldn't before. I'm gonna hold off both of those holes, stick this down here, and then blow up. You can see through that just fine now. That's not going to give us any issues. Same thing down here. And don't forget the bowl. Nice and clean. So we'll put this back together. And down below, I don't know if you guys can really see it, but right up here you'll see a little pocket. Right down below you'll see what goes straight into the carburetor. You just want to make sure that you get this thing back in. This part up here goes into the carburetor throat, and you're able to seat it down just like so. Now, what does make things a little bit easier getting these bowls back on is a little bit of Vaseline onto that O-ring, and then this piece here goes down into that pocket. You can only install this thing one way, but I'm just going to line it up as best I can and push it back on and in place. You do not need to tighten these bolts down. They're going into plastic threads, just nice and snug. When I say don't tighten them down, I mean don't torque the hell out of them, because you will strip these out. So that's done. I also have 4 new wheels and a new blade control cable. But before I install all that, I'm going to take the blade over to my bench grinder over here, sharpen it up. So all I did was just took it over to my wire wheel here, and just cleaned it up a little bit so I can see a little bit better. But all I'm gonna do is just sharpen this up. Got a chunk that was taken out of it here, but that should be fine. This thing's pretty well balanced, so honestly I'm not worried about it. That's not going to give us really any issues. See the shine on it. It's exactly what you want. I've said this many times on these videos so far. You don't want to cut this down like a scalpel's edge. It'll cut really well, probably the first time or second time you use the mower, but eventually what it'll do is it'll wear out very quickly and you'll have to resharpen it again. The nice short edge on these holds up very well compared to a scalpel's edge or a sword's edge. You don't want anything like that. And honestly, this blade isn't even all that dull. Flip this thing back over, get it ready to install the blade brake cable, and see if we can get it to start. After that, verify it runs good. I'll go ahead and throw those new wheels on. All right, I've not tried to start this thing yet. I did just verify the oil level and had to add some oil. No big deal there. So I've got the blade control cable bypass, so it's just a zip tie holding it here. So if we can get it to start, I'll let it run for a little bit and then cut that zip tie and let it shut off. Let's see what happens. There's a pot. Well, that's good. So now I know I can replace that blade cable. I also have to replace both of these knobs too. Got a couple of those, so that's not a big deal. New blade cable. These like to be inserted down here first, just like this. I'm gonna leave this one loose up here. Stuff just like that. Perfect. I'll take that. All I gotta do is just put a zip tie somewhere around here to hold this down. Just like that. We'll be done. All right, so it's tomorrow. Now we just gotta replace all of these wheels. Got the new ones right here. Now, some of you would probably say, why not just cut up a bicycle tube, or a bicycle tire rather, and fashion the treads onto these wheels? Well, for starters, I don't have an old bicycle tire laying around, so I can't really do that. But even if I did, these wheels were so cheap, it's not even worth my time to do that. I'm sure in a pinch, if you, for whatever reason, needed to fix the wheels and you didn't want to wait for Amazon to come through, that might be worth your time, but for me, it's really not. So this is a 3/4 inch socket that goes on the outside here, and then you have another nut that's on the inside, which is 9/16. Yeah, 9/16. Now, I'm not going to show you guys replacing all 4 of these because it's really self-explanatory. But I've also got some axle grease to coat this bolt with once we get it out. There's the nut. Washer. And junk wheel. It goes right in the trash. All 4 junk wheels. Here they are. I did end up putting some washers on those axles after I greased them up. Perfect. Much better. The sad thing is, with this Briggs and Stratton on this deck, the wheels are definitely going to outlast the engine. From what I've seen in the past, most people don't maintain these lawnmowers. That's how I end up finding them at the curb most of the time. Other times I do get them in as trade-ins, but unfortunately, this thing will eventually succumb to bad gas. They won't be able to start it, and they'll end up getting rid of it. Unfortunately, that's just kind of the name of the game with this stuff. It'll last them good for a year, and then they'll neglect it, and it won't start, and they'll have to end up getting another mower. But what I'll do now is find a couple replacements here from the horde. I have a bunch of these in here somewhere. I'll have to look for them. Here we go. Got a couple here. All right, so I just replaced those with a couple loose ones that I had. Let's start this thing up and get you guys the last part of this video. Not bad. This will make somebody a decent mower for sure, as long as they take care of it, like I was saying earlier. Didn't need much. Biggest thing it needed was all 4 new wheels, and then the blade control cable. It's about $40, no, about 30 in parts. The cable was 10. The wheels were like 23 or 24 on Amazon. I already had the pull cord on hand, so I just replaced that right quick, as you all saw. Oil's still good, no problems there. This thing will be ready for a new owner. Stay tuned for more videos.